Good morning, fish peeps. We've got Trigger, Paul, Swiffle. Laura's on time as normal. She's a beast. A great moderator to have by your side. Hey, June, good morning. Army Aquatics, Logan, hello. Glad to see everybody making in. Let me know if you can hear me okay. AB's good. Hey, Tommy, good to see you. Price tag. Before I came and went live, Cape Coral, Florida. Very cool. Florida is one state that I do like. Before I came live, I don't know if you guys caught that video that Gordon, Aquarium Talk TV, put out about losing his one bass due to fish aggression and fighting. I thought that was a pretty good video he put out there and got me thinking about the times that I tried to save a fish and couldn't. And you try everything you can and you spend $100 of medications or just the time and soaking them in salt and doing the best you can, and sometimes they just go. Thank you, Laura. I left a comment on this video. I thought it was pretty cool. Speaking of videos, 11 a.m. my video will be coming out on the next night crew light that I reviewed. That light on that video that's coming out is my favorite out of the 4 that they sent me. So don't forget to check that out, 11 a.m. Eastern. It might be a little loud in here. I don't know if you can hear, because, condensation in tanks. I'm getting close to having to do water changes, and so all the filters are making a lot of noise. I got many tanks. No dedicated fish. Room 13. Oh, I got many tank, no dedicated fish room, 13 tanks. I got 12 before you're one up on me. And to be honest, that's one thing I wanted to talk about in this live stream. Then that would be how many putting MTS aside, how many tanks is too much? I find having 12 tanks with having a full-time job and a family and other pets is enough for me. And I've had to set those tanks up in a way and create a process to where I can spend more time enjoying the fish than working in them. Because if I had to do water changes every week or every 2 weeks, I could do it. But it sure would take a lot more time from family, and it would take a lot more time, from a lot of things that you have to maybe get down around the house. So some of these guys that run 20, 35 tanks, and some of you are in here, I don't know how you do it. Laura, I saw the thumbnail for that. I have not watched it yet. He said he can't break it, and I think they try to act like they're lightsabers or whatever. I have not got to watch that video. I like Corey at Aquarium Co-op. I think he runs a great business over there. He's a very nice guy, as far as I know. But I just don't watch a lot of his videos or his live streams. You have 3, a 45, a 75, and a 90. And I think that's a decent number, Army. When you start getting, like, I've got 12. Most of them are bigger tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are small. Well, we'll say 6 with the 29. I consider 29 gallon a small tank. And that keeps me busy enough. I can keep most of the fish that I like to have and get to play around and have a lot of options with that many tanks. 15 tanks is a good number, and I know, June, that you keep bigger tanks, and you keep your big Oscars, and I like all fish, big to small, but as time goes on, I'm enjoying having bigger fish. They just seem to have less problems as long as you care for them right and live longer, obviously. And, hey, they're big. You can see them. Swiffle, that is my favorite Mbuna. I have one of those in my Mbuna tank, and he's purple with yellow fins, and that he is by far my favorite looking Mbuna. The 75 is a salt water setting. The 75 is a salt. Oh, you're setting up okay, cool. You got a salt water. That's something I've never gone into is salt water. Very cool. Hey, good morning, Peplin. Thanks for coming in. 3,000 gallons. Is that now? I'm assuming you mean you got 3,000 gallons total out of all your tanks? How many tanks? Sorry, wife call just got back. I don't know if that question was for somebody else, Tommy, or for me. But I guess I was asking how many tanks is enough for the average fish keeper, for the average person that keeps fish for the hobby and the enjoyment of it, that has a full-time job. They're not a YouTube creator. They don't make a living off keeping fish. Your average fish keeper. How many fish tanks is enough? That's what I'm asking. I need to find someone who breeds haps and peacocks. Well, they're all over the place, Army. Yeah, especially now. It's bigger than it ever has been. People breeding fish, and it's more relevant due to social media. Okay, thanks, June. Yeah, 2. That is a fair number. I would say 2, and maybe having 1 or 2 spare tanks around just in case. You need to QT a fish, hospitalize a fish, or maybe you had an issue with aggression and you need to separate some fish. I always say keep some spare tanks around. You're a total weirdo. I do a few of those Logan Star Sapphires. As many as you can take care of. Yeah, that's another good way to put it. But, even with the 12 tanks that I have, keeping up with the water changes, keeping up with if you get a sick fish or something, then you're keeping track of a medication cycle. I like to dose Vitachem once a week, so I go around and do that once a week. So all these things add up. You get the point. You got to keep track of everything over those tanks, and I do it easily because I've created a process that's streamlined, it's linear, and I write everything down. I have schedules, and I can go a month without having to do water changes. And all my tanks are run off canister filters with some hang on the back backup filters. And I don't have to clean my canister filters, but every 7 months, I've streamlined that process to make that faster and easier. So I don't really have to do any maintenance but once a month. But then, you got to get the algae off the glass, and then, get out all the biomatter, dying dead plants, uneaten food, things like that. So it does take a good portion of your time up. I feel when you stick that 10 to 15 tanks, juggling everything else in life, if you do more than that, it gets pretty tough. Now, I do have plans of buying one more tank. I will own one more tank, but that one tank will be a monster tank, 300 gallon and up. The biggest one I can find that's affordable. I will have my monster tank, and that'll be it for me as far as buying aquariums go. So I guess what I'm asking you guys, what's your plans? What's your future plans? How far are you willing to take this? How many tanks are you going to add on? Because, all of us want to keep every fish we can, as many as we can, but it's just impossible to do so. And yes, you do, Swiffle. Now, Now, this is to the normal person, but who the hell is normal, and what happened to that definition? To the definition, yeah, normal. Yeah, about a couple tanks, 2, 3, 4 tanks. Who's really into the hobby? It's very easy to get carried away. Then you get on the dang Facebook Market site and you see all these sweet deals. Oh my God, I can get a 125 for $300 with a filter. I have to do it. And I'll tell you this: the one thing I wish I would have done is stuck to tanks 125 gallons and bigger. I would have never bought 75s unless I was going to use them as a grow out tank or a place to put a QT, a larger fish if I needed to, because you always hear everybody saying the bigger the better. You'll appreciate it down the road, and that rings true. That is true. Even if I was going to keep neon tetras, tiger barbs, 2-inch fish, I don't care if it was a school of 200 ember tetras. I wish I would have just stuck to 125 and larger and never even got the 75s, the 55. Because you always have room to go up. The bigger the tank, it looks better. More room for error. Morning, Bunny. Good to see you. I have too many and still want more or bigger ones, but I like 20 long. 20 long is a great tank. I have 2 of those, Tommy, and I'm actually going to be setting them up as a dirted sandcap tank filled with plants, as you know, the whole method. And because I love my 10-gallon dirted tank, I never have to do anything with it, and the plants are beautiful. I'm going to do the same with the 20-gallon long, and I already built a stand for them, and they're going to sit there and just look pretty, and I'll probably again maybe get something different. I want to get a different, smaller fish. I'd like to get some killies. Killies are really nice. I think they do pretty good in that environment. I don't know how to think about that. What's your suggestions for a dirted sandcap 20-gallon long tank that's packed full of plants? The plants are going to run the tank, but it can't be a fish that likes to dig into substrate. You cannot break that sandcap's seal and let the dirt leach into your aquarium. Would be a good fish. Pretty colorful fish. Some of them platies are really nice. I'm looking at 2 of them swimming around now, super colorful and orange. I think I've got the Mickey Mouse and the pepper platy over there. I had some sunbursts, but they all died off. Bunny, I hope you're doing good this morning. I only get a form of mild MTS, but I'm getting bad BTS, big tank syndrome. Yeah, me too, Trigger. I like my big tanks. Like I said, I got 3 125s in here, and when I look at them, the footprint of those tanks are awesome. They're long. There's plenty of room for lots of options. Would I rather have some 180 gallons? Yeah. Would I rather have 220, 250 gallon tank? Yes. But I will have my one monster tank. But I think my favorite aquarium, if you're going to ask me, my favorite aquarium is the 125 gallon. What are your guys' favorite tank size? Footprint. I like my longer tanks for more surface area. I don't like tall tanks. That's one reason I can't stand a 29 gallon. I like long tanks. I did leave a 75 gallon on the side of the road this week. I find them all the time. Yeah, Swift. Well, for me, I got 175 gallon in my community here for free. For me, it's mostly 10 gallons. There's a ton of 10 gallons sitting around. I want to lose 2 tanks and gain 1. So, yeah, and I know, June, you probably mean you want to get one really big one, I'm assuming. Hey, Mad Max, thanks for coming in, buddy. Good to see you. Paul has 6 tanks, 2 75s, 160 cube, 155, 140 breeder, and 129. Nice, Paul. That's a nice mix. So your biggest tank is the 75 gallons, and that's a nice manageable amount. There is no limit. There isn't. I get you on that. But isn't there really, though, Peplin? there kind of is a limit. You need to limit yourself at some point, or one, you're going to wind up divorced or broke. $1,000 and grow a tank for 2. I'd love 1,000-gallon trigger. I'd love to have 1,000. So I do want to talk to you guys about some plans. Triggered what I want to talk about. No pun intended, or pun intended. 240-gallon or bigger. Yeah, I agree. I like my big tanks. It was like a year ago I put a video out where I was making fun of little 10-gallon tanks. I have a 10-gallon in front of my 125 in the thumbnail. It was funny. How can you pass up free tank? Exactly. I can't. Even if I don't need it, I'm like, I'll drive by it when I come back, stop and get out and throw it in the car. 100-gallon is fine for QT. Yeah, sometimes you need those bigger QT tanks. Maybe you got a fish that's a large and you have to get him out of a toxic situation where he's being bullied, but then he needs time to heal. I mean, you can always get one of them stock tanks a lot cheaper from Tractor Supply or something like that to do that, or a larger tote. You don't necessarily have to use an aquarium, but if I want aquariums. I have 12, including my shrimp bowls and my outdoor small pond. Very cool, Tommy. Matt Meck saying hello to everybody. By the way, I'm going to put the link in the chat in a little bit. To anyone that wants to come up and chat, they're more than welcome. But I want to talk about one thing before I do that, and that is plans, future plans coming up for me in my fish room. Let me get to the bottom of the chat, and we'll touch on that. Costs more to add plants, substrate. You can get into larger pieces of driftwood and decorations. Everything's the bigger the tank, everything's more expensive. But in the end, the reward is worth it. I got 20 long in backyard waiting to be resealed. Okay. 20 long, really nice tank. The only one I would say is better than the 20 long is the 30 long. Oh, am I frozen? Or am I good? I only got 6 tanks. They're low maintenance and my nano reef tank. Nice trigger. That's a nice number. Thanks, June, for clearing that up. Bunny clearing it up. I was listening as usual on the way to work. I appreciate you, Laser. You be safe driving, sir. Thank you, price tag. Okay, I have a broken 40 breeder, but Jorg threatened my life if I didn't cut it down and make a different tank out of it. Only one panel of broken threatened my life. That's funny. You can get them glass cutters really cheap, man, and they do a good job. You probably already know that, though. Deep, wide, low tanks, like my 300G. Deep, wide, low. Okay. So, Trigger, are you a fan of those 55 or 55-gallon low boy tanks style type thing? 2? Hey, Shady, thanks for coming in. Let me get to the bottom of this chat because I want to talk. I second Peplin only. First of all, hey, Foxy, thanks for coming in. I second Peplin only line I see is when I have to start hiring help. Yeah. I'd love to keep going too. I'm running out of space, which bleeds into what I'm about to tell you guys. Low, wide, open top that you can walk around. I'd love to keep all my tanks and lids off my tanks, and not even have to worry about it. But I absolutely have to have glass tops for several reasons. The biggest one is peace of mind. The second is condensation. The third is some of my lights have to sit on top of the glass to work. I'm sure they're out there, but I have yet to find an LED light that'll span all the way across the 6-foot, 125-gallon tank to sit on the rim. Usually you have to buy two, or you hang them above or get the clip-ons. Well, I have LED light, your regular LED lights, then they have the docking legs and they have to sit on the glass. I'm not going to buy a light that if I don't need one. These ones are working great. Now, recently with this video I was discussing that's coming out today at 11 a.m. where I do a review on the one Night Crew light, it is my favorite light, as I said, the Sky LED 2.0, and it goes up to 60 inches, and that's the version they sent me. But still not long enough to span that tank. I already got my stupid high tank. I don't like it. They recommend longer is better for the more surface area. Taller tanks, now obviously that's going to be in relation to the fish you keep, but I do like my long tanks. No tanks left behind. That's my motto. You got it, Max. I got to get to the bottom of this chat. Okay, Bunny. Okay, Max. I'm glad. I appreciate you fixing it and wanting to come back in and hang out. Last water change was 8 months ago. I only top off. I mean, if your fish are happy, they're swimming around, they're not showing any signs of like pacing up and down the glass or distress, and they're colorful, they're eating, they're energetic. I mean, you really don't need to do water changes that often. I mean, we do water changes to lower nitrates, but why do we also do water changes? It is important to do water changes too, because you're also adding fresh minerals into the water. That's the only thing I can say about combating doing water changes, say that long. 8 months is a long time, but if your fish are happy and healthy, and plus you're mostly saltwater too, so that might be different in that world. I don't know, but it is good to get some fresh minerals in there. It's a controversial subject, but I don't do weekly water changes and bi-weekly water changes anymore. I just don't need to. Wall space is a premium. Exactly, June. Time to build an addition then. Well, Foxy, I'm going to talk about something like that. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I love all this chat. I'm so glad everybody comes in and hangs out with me. It's been a rough week. I did not even get a chance. Hey, Atkins, thanks for coming in, buddy. Hey, Melvin, good to see you. I didn't even get a chance to cancel my Tuesday live stream this week, as some of you have asked me about and seen, because I did have a death in the family. I got more condolences from you guys than it was overwhelming, and I want to thank you all for that. It's amazing how, everyone says we're a close-knit community, but when something like this happens, you really do truly see how close-knit and how nice everybody here is. It was amazing. I did lose my mother-in-law. She had several issues. She needed to go because the quality of life, if she would have survived, wouldn't have been good for her. So they made the decision to go ahead and just comfortably let her pass away in peace, and that's what happened. But it's all good. I appreciate everybody's support on that and all your kind comments. I got the problem that I got no iron left in my big marine tank, so algae grows very slow. Can you add that in? Can you add iron back in? So someone was looking for angels on Dan's stream last night. Good to see you too, Legacy. All right, I think we're at the bottom of the chat. So here's what I want to talk about. In this house, my fish room is in my dining room. This is a fairly large dining room. Just to put that in perspective for you, I know, even in my videos, it's kind of hard to put it all together unless you sit there and study it. And who has the time for that or the want? But I've got a 125, a 29 jam between another 125, and a 125 Oscar tank with two 10-gallon tanks under that stand. And then behind me, a 75, a 75, a 55, and then I got a 10-gallon under that, and I'm going to have two 20-gallon longs on a double stand. That's how many tanks I was able to fit in this dining room, with still space in the middle to eat dinners. Well, the reason why I brought up the death in the family and my mother-in-law and all that stuff was because in lieu of that happening, you know, my wife's dad obviously is still alive, but he's just 71, 72 years old, and he lives in a 3,000 square foot house that he was wanting to get out of a long time ago, but his wife, my mother-in-law that passed, didn't want to live there anymore. But she couldn't move. She stayed there. She never wanted to leave a house, so they were forced to stay in a house they couldn't maintain anymore. Long story short, once all the dust settles, he wants to move pretty fast on it. He's going to sell that house, sell all the belongings. He doesn't need anything, and he's going to spend the rest of his time bouncing back and forth between his two daughters, which would be my wife, and then he's going to travel to Florida, at the bottom of Florida, and visit his other daughter and his grandchildren, and that's his goal. He's just going to spend his time, maybe 6 months out of the year in Florida, 6 months up here with us. This dining room I'm going to make and convert into a place for him to stay because it's large. He'll have the room. So I have to convert my garage into my fish room, which is something I've been wanting to do anyways. So I got a lot of work to do. It has to be heat and cooled. I got to install outlets. And I also have to find a place to store some things before I can even start that and get it cleared out, cleaned up. My garage is already finished, but it has the concrete floor, obviously, which is nice for keeping fish in case you have a leak, right? And it makes me feel more comfortable having all these tanks out there instead of in my house for obvious reasons. So that is some stuff that is coming down the line. I could probably make some good YouTube videos with that process as well. It's going to be a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of money. I think one of them heating and cooling units I want to put in there on the wall is a couple grand or something like that. But for my future fish room plans, that's what's happening. I got to make a fish room in my garage, get these tanks out of here. I'm thinking about buying some of them suction cup grabbers to make picking the tanks up easier. Oh, okay. I got you, Trigger. Thank you, Laura, for the stop sign. Appreciate that. Why is that helpful? Stupid smartphones and autocorrect. Gmail, Melvin. What's your Gmail, Melvin? Cat comment. Sorry. Oh, the cat got in the keyboard or something. New local awesome. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Join the Garage Fish Room League. The floor is wet and we don't care. That's right, Law. I'm probably going to steal Ben Ochart's Garage Gang slogan, and he's just going to have to deal with it. So that's my future plans. I hate moving tanks. I especially hate moving larger tanks and you got fish in them. My idea is always, if I can get the water low enough to where the fish can stay in the aquarium and I get 2 or 3 people with suction cups, get the tank on what would be real. It'd be easier to just grab it and carry it out, right? But I'm going to have to be able to get like a stand or something where I can pick the tank off, put it on a stand, a sturdy stand that has casters. Then we can move the actual aquarium stand out and roll the aquarium to the stand would be the easiest thing to do. I hate pulling fish out, putting them in totes, but I may have to do that. I am going to have to do that with some of my fish, like these Oscars. The Oscars are too big. I cannot lower the water low enough to where they can stay in it, and that tank not weigh freaking way too much to try to pick up. But we've all moved fish. We know what it's like. I'm preaching to the choir here. Floor drain would be nice. You could put your hose right in there and drain your water right there. But I still wouldn't recommend that because I don't care who you are. You're going to get sand in your drain. And after a while, that may build up with some of that sticky algae gunk crap that comes out with it. You might still have a clog. I just throw my pump hose out the window and let it go. Yeah, Garage Gang is pretty good. Totes are your friend with moving tanks. Yeah, absolutely, Mix. You can just throw them in the totes and then you can pick the whole tote up. It's enough water where it's not going to break your back, or put it on like a cart and wheel it out. I plan on growing into the garage. I think garages are fantastic. The only thing better than a garage is a basement, and price tag knows. I miss my basements up in Pennsylvania. Um, Basements are just the only thing a garage has over a basement is if you get a new tank, much easier to roll that door up and take tanks in and out. What'd Laura say? Oh, hey Garcia, good to see you, buddy. Garcia's here. Hope you're doing good today, Garcia. And a dripping system. What do you use the dripping system for? Assimilating fish? Or what do you mean by dripping system? Don't need anything, Melvin, just my phone. Yeah, my basement is perfect for a fish room. Yeah, I love your setup. I like what you did down there. That would have been fun to build, I think. Excited. I would have really enjoyed setting that up. I think. Are you talking to someone else, Austin? Or 'cause I'm not sure what FIL means. My basement is on the first floor. That don't make sense, Jim. Constant slow water change, like I got. Oh, okay. Constant slow water change. So you're always draining and filling at the same time. Like, how's that work? But I think that sounds a dripping system. So you have a constant water change going on. Slow. I feel like that would only work if you had like a RO water. Because if you had to do a dripping system off of tap water, you'd be constantly having to drip a dechlorinator too. So I'm assuming a system like that is good for RO water, or some kind of filtration system that'll take the tap water and get rid of the crap before it fills in. That's crazy. I didn't even know they did something like that. Cement basement floor drain. You got it, man. In here, my worst fear is if I get a leak in one of these tanks. I'm not worried about my canister filters because I do keep them in totes underneath of the aquariums. But if a tank would happen to leak in here, it's my worst fear being in the house. Sorry, I can't talk more in the middle of doing water changes, and I don't want to be making messes. I got you, Shady Grady. You're all good. I've done that during my live streams, and you can vary. I've never overflowed a tank, or never from overfilling it, and I don't want to start. But it's happened close when I was trying to do it during live streams, so I got you on that. Father-in-law, what? So, let me see. Yeah, right. No, that's the that's funny. He could care less. He likes to come see them, but he could care less about aquariums. It's just dripping. Okay. I have a 2-story house with a concrete floor. My basement is the first floor. So your house is on a slab. I have a brick ranch. It's 2,000 square foot brick ranch, and I'm on a slab. That's the only way I am able to have all this water weight. For breeding discus, I am on my own well. Okay, cool. Wouldn't you get Oh, so you're saying you don't have no more iron in your well, or are you talking about the aquarium? Because don't you have iron in your well water? Carbon blocks? Yep, we've talked about that for sure. Call it JK Gang. Yeah, I need a good new fish room name. I don't have a fish room name, so I need suggestions on my new garage fish room when I'm done with it. I can't take the garage gang. Ben Ochart has that patented, so I need a cool name. The JK Gang. Only Oscar. So you don't have a basement? Just first and second floor. Some locations are like that. Yeah, price tag. I don't have a basement here because we have mostly sand here in North Carolina. In the area, it's actually called the Sand Hills. So your water table is very close to the surface, and it's just not ideal for creating basements in that environment. Now there are some locations where in North Carolina that there are basements, but where I'm at, I can't have one, and I'm assuming June's probably in the same situation. She has more sand and water, so she can't have a basement. If you just had it on a slow drip to add back the water that was removed from evaporation, Laura's asking that. Trigger. Platinum Aquatics. Who's Platinum Aquatics? I heard dripping from upstairs the other day, and I was so worried it was the reef upstairs, but thankfully the garage disposal just broke a seal. Oh, man, yeah. Ain't that funny? Every little water you be sitting on the couch and you hear something. You go around with your light and your flashlight 100 mile an hour. If we could put roller skates on, go around checking every tank. Yeah, carbon sediment filter, carbon blocks, and silicate absorbers. Okay. Homer, you get into a lot of different things with them tanks. You have a lot of knowledge in different systems and stuff like that, so I always enjoy talking with you. I learn something every time. Yeah, I got iron in the well, but it isn't enough. Okay. No basement here on sand and high water table too. I need a basement fish room name dedicated to my late mom and grandmother, 4'11" legacy. Well, why don't you call it like the legacy aquarium? That's kind of short and to the point, but it sounds nice. The legacy aquarium as a water change with bare bottom tank, just a breeding cone. No filters. So going forward, what do you guys plan on doing with your fish rooms? And so obviously too, there's so many fish I've been wanting to buy, but I haven't bought any fish. All my fish that I have in these tanks are the ones I've had for a while now. I've had a couple losses, but going forward, I can't buy any more fish right now because I can't set any tanks up. I can't buy any fish because I'm probably going to have to move them to the garage soon. So there's no sense in doing that. And I've been thinking about this now for months. So, buying fish, setting up tanks is just kind of a redundant thing to do right now. It doesn't make sense because I'm going to have to, unless I have to move, to make that easier until they get in there. The only other thing I wanted to do in there is maybe get one of them big 300-gallon stock tanks and make an indoor pond, kind of like Dan does over there Fishkeeping. He's got a nice setup there. An airstone for flow and a heater. We have 2 new racks going in soon. After that, I need to move out to one of the buildings. And see, it's an issue for me, Peplin, because I like having all my aquariums in one room. I got one 20-gallon long sitting out in the kitchen because I had no place to put it at the moment. And it's got cherry shrimp and a male beta in it, a mustard gas. It makes my skin crawl when I can't have all my tanks in the same room. I hate them being separated in different parts of the house. So that's going to be nice when I can get into the garage. I can line them all up. And I shouldn't complain too much because there's only one out there, but I like having everything in one room. Yeah, I love the Legacy Aquarium. The name has a nice ring to it. Thanks, Nancy. Appreciate it, buddy. Yes, sir. The Legacy Aquarium. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard that from somewhere. There might be one that already exists. Isn't that Brian Barczyk? That's Brian Barczyk's Legacy Aquarium, I think, is what they call it. So, but they don't own the word. You can do what you like. I'm going to the local fish store. We shall see. You're going to get some. You're going to get some new fish. All right. Laura needs one of these. I didn't buy this. I got it for free. He sent it to me. Yeah, that's the name of Brian Barczyk's. Brian's new place. Yeah. So speaking of fish, I always battle myself. If I think about buying a new fish, it's like, what do I want? What do I want? There's so many fish that I'd love to have. Obviously, I would need some more aquariums too. But I want some silver dollars. Some people don't like silver dollars. My wife hates them because they say she says they look like piranhas, and she don't like piranhas, but I think they're great. I love the way they look. I want to get some silver dollars. I want to get some killifish. I want to get a nice school of Cory cats. I want to get like 25 Siamese algae eaters so I can put in every tank to help keep blackbeard algae down a little bit. So many fish that I want to buy, and every time I get on there and watch Boss Aquatics and how he's got his basement lined up, all them tanks and all them fish, it's like, man, I want to do that. And then the other side of me sets in. What are you going to do when you have all those tanks? You got that many aquariums. I'd never get as many as Boss Aquatics has. He has a lot of tanks. But he also breeds and makes money off of that. Me, I keep fish for the hobby. I don't make any money off my aquarium. I do it because I enjoy it. So I think in that situation, having that many aquariums is just not what you want to do. But like I said, I would just like one more monster tank. And I thought about maybe that 300-gallon stock tank pond thing. But that'd be about it. Other than that, I just don't have the time to maintain that many tanks. But when you want different fish, you got to make room for them. Them silver dollars can get big. They recommend putting them at least a group of 4. They should have a new shipment and an opening 2 hours early today. Okay. We know Atkins got his local fish store down. I was in the local fish store today working. I hate when my boss hands me new import lists. Why is that? Why do you hate that, Homer? When you move to the garage, are you going to leave a space? Yes, I have plenty of room in my garage for that, Laura, and all these tanks and then some. I got a lot of room in there. But I already know where I'd put my one monster tank. If the wifey don't like piranha, she may well agree with silver monos. I'd have to look and see what that is. Let me look that up. Atkins is giving me that fish buying itch. That's funny. Is that the event Kenny is talking about? Atkins? Got to support your local scene. That's how we get that. Exactly, Atkins. Yeah, forget those dang. And most of the time, they have better assortment of fish. When you're going to your Petco's and PetSmarts, it's always the same dang fish. So let's look this up. What are these silver monos? Silver mono. Fish. Whoops. Okay. Ooh, they are pretty silver. This one I'm looking at has like a yellow top and uh, fin. How big do they get? They still look a little bit like that piranha, but they're a little prettier. You want to see the silver mono? That's a nice looking fish. Appreciate that. It's fun, but usually expensive for my wallet. Absolutely. Legacy family. A bit under a foot. Oh, so they get pretty big. I'll try to stream it when I get there today. Yeah, cool, Atkins. Show us around the local fish store, man. I think a lot of people like those. Monos are even cooler at school. Yeah, they're pretty. I like that. They, I'm a fan of that. Like I was saying earlier, I love my. Uh, I'm, I don't know how to say it. ACI. I just call him Ace, but he's purple with the yellow fins. I love that combination. Yesterday, I have a fancy goldfish in this tank over here, and he was the one I've talked about in the past. Where when I had a pleco in that tank, I've recently since separated him. He got to this fish, sucked on his side, and caused secondary infections. Well, I got him all fixed up, but he's never been the same. And recently, he's starting to act worse. He's getting these like clear sacs under each of his fins down here, and it's an Aranda goldfish, is what it is. And around his eyes, he's getting like larger clear sacs that it's almost like making his eyes look sunk in. So I gave him a 30-minute Epsom salt bath yesterday, which I think helped him a little bit, but that's something you need to do daily and keep up on it, which I'm going to keep giving him Epsom salt baths to see if I can help him. But he's probably on his last leg. He was never fine since that first go around. The one day, he had a cloudy eye. I was able to clear that up with some aquarium salt that I put in the tank. Um, I don't expect him to live, but I'm going to keep trying. But I'm wondering, I don't know if you guys know, I'm wondering what those, like under his, I don't know what fins they are, dorsal fins maybe, the two fins on the side they're arms. Right on his body under those fins, there's two clear sacs. I'm not sure, I don't know what that is. Oh, monos are a saltwater fish. I have I have 2 stars in my lights. I got 15 monos in my 300-gallon. 15, wow. Yeah, they need a bit of salt. Okay. Pectoral fins. This is the pectoral fins. Anybody have any idea what those clear sacs that develop might be? And then obviously the skin around his eyes have gotten bigger and look a little bit more like almost like a clear around his eyes, the right one more than the left. But the salt is helping that. I got to soak him today for another 30 minutes. So let's see here. Invite. Copy. Anybody who may want to come up and chat with me, there's the link in the chat. You're more than welcome to come up. Legacy Family Paradise Fish Room sounds even better saying that. Legacy Family Paradise Fish Room. I think that is almost getting too long, in my opinion, Melvin. I always found that short and sweet names are better than long names. That just seems, it's your choice. I just feel like that's too long. It's too much. Could be fungal or bacterial. Yeah, I'm not going to treat the whole tank with meds. I do have a an aquarium I could put him in if I had to hit him with meds. But that poor fish has been meted. Like I said, when he first had that issue, he had to go through all the meds then and the salt. And I would imagine after a while of constantly having to medicate a fish, at what point are we causing more harm versus helping the fish? So I'm hoping I can maybe do this naturally with salt. If it doesn't work, then of course I'll try the meds again. And he stays like this all the time, head down, all the time. Yeah, I've had to deal with that before, Max. I've never done it. I've watched a video on how to do it. I forget what the guy. I think the guy used clove oil. Too much clove oil obviously can euthanize your fish, but he just did enough clove oil to put him to sleep, and then he went ahead and used his scissors and cut that wind back. Oh, we got Homer wants to come up. Let's bring Homer up. Can you hear me all right?
All right.
Boy,
Now
you
you
sound.
should be on the headphones too. Yeah.
Yeah, you sound. I'm getting a bunch of noise from you.
Better?
That's better.
Yeah, I had to restart the noise cancellation on StreamYard. So that's the tank with the 50 monos.
Okay. Well, they get. Wait, which one is it?
They are usually on the right side of the tank. Let me feed them.
Okay. Who are you talking to? Window, liquor. Yeah, that's way better. Okay, cool.
They are like piranhas, but for brackish water.
Okay.
You can keep them in fresh water with a bit of salt compared to real brackish water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. But you can't beat those saltwater fish with the options you
No.
have. They're just really cool.
Especially when you work in a fish shop that's usually only got marine stuff.
You're right.
It's a way to get in a few cheaper fish.
Yeah, man, they are expensive. I've seen them on there, and they are pricey for sure. I mean, I know you can get a decent deal on some of them saltwater fish, like your clownfish don't seem to be too bad, but some of them fish in there, oh my god.
In that tank, no fish is under $100. When you buy the monos in big, they cost at our store $100. Or 110 for the even bigger ones.
Yeah. Window liquor. I want to say that goldfish is probably maybe 4 years old or something like that, but he's big. And he's in a 125-gallon goldfish species only tank. Legacy Paradise is even better. I like that better, Melvin. So yeah, really nice tank there, Trigger.
Yeah.
So what else we got? What am I looking at here?
You're looking at my 300-gallon with a 100-gallon external open canister filter with a fleece roller and a big skimmer running with.
Are you recording that on a phone?
Yeah.
Can you turn it sideways for me?
I can try it, but my phone usually don't switch.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's the problem with my phone.
Okay. Maybe go into settings. You might have that. I think you can have the ability to turn that on and off, the gyroscope or whatever.
Yeah, I have to look into that.
So this is your 300-gallon tank. Was that a sunfish I saw?
No. I got no sunfishes in that tank. I got the clown trigger, I got a Niger trigger, I got a Hawaiian trigger, a scat is in this tank, 3 hi-hats, the 15 monos, a cleaner ass, some other gobies, they are smaller, 3 smaller riff basslets, and a big panther grouper, and a selfin tank, a big one, with 12
Yeah,
years.
very cool. Yeah, I think this is the one that you had on the last time you came up.
Yeah.
That yellow tail one there, is that a trigger?
That one on the right, now in the center, that's Homer, my clown trigger.
Okay.
It's his channel, basically.
Yeah. That one right in the center in there. What is that?
That's the clown trigger. And that
Okay.
on the bottom, it's a hi-hat, that striped one. That's one of Melvin's favorite. That's the Imperator Angel, the meanest fish of that whole tank.
Yeah, that's cool. They're just having all kind of fun. So what do you feed them?
I usually feed Dr. Basler pellets, some cheap normal flakes, Dr. Basler Forte flakes, and a lot of fresh vegetables and frozen foods.
Okay.
But from the grocery, not from the fish shop. It's too expensive for the big fish.
Yeah, I got you. So you'll go ahead and get shrimp and frozen shrimp and stuff.
Shrimps, mussels on the full shell, the hard mussels. They're great for keeping the beak shorter on the triggers.
Right.
That's a mussel like that one.
Thank you, Bunny. I appreciate that.
Yeah. A
Um,
lot of octopus and a lot of chopped up fish fillet.
Atkins says he likes Dr. Bassler's flakes and pellets.
Hmm. They are great. They are made by Aquarium Münster. That's a German company.
So your name is Rainer?
Yeah, my name is Rainer,
I'll have to remember that so I don't have to keep calling you.
and I'm from Austria.
Okay. Well, I certainly appreciate you coming up and hanging out with me.
What is also a cool food? It's for bigger fish. It's the Sarah koi food, the premium stuff. What they got
Okay.
for cheap food.
Right. So I would imagine that that kind of can be a hefty bill just feeding them.
Yeah, 150 to 200 bucks a month usually
Wow.
with the frozen food and the pellets. I usually fed my 3.8 liters a month on pellets.
Okay.
So basically a small bucket like that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a month of food.
Not too bad. Well, I mean, it is bad. I mean, I spend, what is it, $200 a month feeding my dogs high quality food, and you got more than that in fish.
Yeah, I also got 2 dogs.
Oh, yeah. Adds up.
A pit bull Stafford mix and a pure cane corso puppy.
Okay. See, we were feeding the dogs what was supposed to be, that blue buffalo. I don't know if you heard of it. Blue buffalo dog food is supposed to be good.
Yeah, supposed to be.
Well, we did some research and we found out that because a lot of their food's grain free, and you should do feed your dogs grain free food unless they have an allergy, right?
Heck
And
yeah, it's a dog, not a wolf.
exactly. So, we did some research and we found it was causing issues in dogs. It wasn't
Yeah.
massive, but it was causing issues in dogs. So we weaned them over to Hill Science diet. Well, that shit's like it's 100 now. It was $99. Now it's $103 a bag at Tractor Supply, and I have to do that twice a month. So
Heck
$200
yeah.
a month, 212, $15 a month in dog food. But I will say that they are beefy, they're healthy, they're energetic, they got beautiful coats, way better
Hey,
than Blue Buffalo.
A good diet is the key for health and long life.
Yes. Do you know Dr. Lamboje? I think Allison's asking you if you know Dr. Lambage, or I don't know how to say that. I put it up on the screen.
Was it that from fish science, that doctor, or what? Nope.
Allison, is that somebody that is in Austria, or let's see. So they're talking. See, my favorite saltwater angelfish, the emperor. I also like the queen angelfish and the French angelfish, and Paul Kupferer had in his saltwater pond.
Yeah.
It can
Hey,
cause.
it's nice to have a pond.
That's a good question. Morning. And there's my sister. Hey, Tara, good to see you. And she caught up. So, yeah, really nice. Tanky, you don't mess with it much, huh? You just so you were saying you'd like to install a drip system so you don't have to mess with water changes or nothing. Just does it.
Yeah, but that would only be for a discus breeding rack or angel breeding rack.
Oh, okay.
Since discus and angel are selling good in our shop, I thought I could make a bit of money,
Oh, yeah.
especially with some Ultims. They're selling here the babies for $50, so and yeah, easy to breed.
Right. I know I go in my local fish store and they want anywhere from $150 to $180 for them discus.
Oh yeah, that's other one. It's the price for the Altum Scala for the angels.
Allison says, if you see it on the screen there.
Austrian ish. No, but I don't have a lot of East African fish or African fish in general. That's tank. It's almost everything around Australia. And I got the tank with customer fish, what they brought back. That's a mixed cichlid tank.
Okay. So, how much sand do you have in the bottom of that tank?
Ah, that's a deep substrate. It depends on where. I put around 150 kilograms in it.
Hey, Google, what's 150 kilograms to pounds?
150 kilograms is equal to 330.693 pounds.
Wow, did you hear that?
Yeah, I got some engineers goby in the tank and they like to dig. The hi-hats also love to grunt to do that stuff with the sand. Get it in
Yeah,
the mouth, spit it out, clean it.
yeah, you got about 350 pounds of sand in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost the same in live rock too.
hey, Vinoski, thanks,
Actual live rock.
thanks for coming in, buddy. Yeah, I can't like my Ambunas, my Oscars, they love digging sand.
Yeah, it also keeps the tank pretty stable.
Yeah, they enjoy it. They have a good time, something to do. So I
Yeah.
got deep sand in those tanks. Definitely not a fish you can have one of those dirty sand cap tanks in. They destroy that.
Yeah.
They go clear to the bottom, man.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is if you have canister filters, even hanging the backs, you have to have a pre-filter, or that sand gets up in there. It can jam up that impeller and things like that. So I have to use
Ah,
pre-filters.
that's less of a problem here. Use a big return pump into the filter. It's basically a pond filter what I got next to the tank. The tank is on the ground.
Okay, so it sits on. It's next to the tank on
It's
the
next to the
ground.
tank, but it's higher, the filter, so I just pump up
Okay.
and the sand usually get catched in the fleece roller filter.
Now, are you holding that camera there? Or you just put it in one. Can you move it around?
Sure. What do you want to see?
Yeah, anything you want to show me, I just want to move around a little bit.
We can move to the other tank.
Yeah, anything
We
you'd like
should
to
move
do.
to the other one. That's just, yeah.
Okay.
And that's a wood-made tank.
Okay. So you built that yourself?
Nope. Got it from Amazon on a deal.
Oh, okay. How'd you
Got it
ship
for
that monster?
500. But the tank,
Yeah.
it came in boxes. 3 boxes. And it's to build yourself the tank. It's pre-cut and painted wood.
Okay, I see.
And it comes with an inlay. It's called a garden aquarium.
Okay. And it's 300 gallons?
Yeah.
I like it.
It was the biggest one what they sold back in the day.
Okay. Hey, 300 gallons is a lot of water, man.
Yeah. Then 100-gallon in the filter.
How long did it take you to put it together?
Three 3.5 hours.
Oh, that ain't bad. And then
No.
you were filling it. Oh,
I
I can
have
see
to go.
much
My
better.
aunt is here.
Oh, okay, my friend. Thanks for coming up and spending time with me.
See ya. Have a nice day.
You too, buddy. That's cool. I always like seeing his tanks. So, anybody else that want to come up and share their tanks and talk? I'm going to put that in here. There it is again. And then what I can do, oh, that was starring that? I don't know. Pelva Crumis changed again. I missed that. Yes, thanks for the visit. Anybody else who want to come up and share their tanks and talk was more than welcome. So, what are you guys going to do this Saturday? Got any plans? Just hanging out at the house? What are you guys going to do? It is a great tool for a pre-filled from a biofilter. Okay. I think they're talking about a book. Garcia always wants me to go on his live streams, and he don't never come up there online and visit me. I did the same thing yesterday. I cut and weed whack. I cut, mowed and weed whacked, and got some things done. While everybody was out talking and making plans and all that. Okay, so it's not like this changed in the last year. And I am at the bottom of the chat. So yeah, I think getting back to what we were talking about, I think when you start as an average aquarist, average fish keeper, I feel like 12 to 15 tanks is plenty, especially if you have a full-time job, a family, you got things to do, things to take care of. I think when you go past that, like Tommy said earlier, getting to be just a bit of a weirdo. I don't like vacuuming, mopping and vacuuming. We've tried, we had one of those dang cheaper Roombas. Them things suck. They do not do a good job. They just bumble all over the place. They don't get everything. You're better off getting a vacuum or a freaking push broom and doing it yourself. You'll be done faster. I gotta cut grass today, tomorrow. Yeah, Be better if the molehills wasn't so plentiful. Yeah, my dogs dig them up, Laura. A weirdo in a good way. A kind of weirdo. Weirdos in a good way. Guess I'm a weirdo. I think John at KG Trouble was the one who's always saying that. So it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. We all know what it means. Weirdo here, 20 tanks, but I've been retired since 2018. Had more than that when I was working. Absolutely. You got the time and the want and the desire. Heck yeah, I'll go for it. It's your life. Do what you want. But for me, I could do it. I'm not saying I couldn't do it, but for me, if I had any more tanks than I have now and the last one I want to get, for me, it's just too much with everything else I got going on. It would take way too much time and money to maintain that many aquariums. Unless they were small aquariums that ran themselves. That's a different story. But then you're limited to small fish, and I like big fish. We're all weirdos. I'm going to watch the March Madness journey. I'm going live there later today. Okay, Melvin. What is that? Soccer, football? I don't keep up with the sports. I like baseball, but I don't like watching it on TV. I like playing it. I sit down and watch sports. I'm falling asleep. Same with NASCAR. I can't watch NASCAR. Hey, Skitty. Good to see you. I wish Janice would come in. I got to talk to her about sending her giveaway win. Yeah, I can't. Puts me to sleep. Same with reading a book. I cannot sit down and read a book. I'm out in 3 sentences. I think, yeah, a lot of people like that for the fights, watching the fights. That always brew. Yeah, I haven't seen her for a little bit, Laura, and she wasn't on Dan's live last night. Pittsburgh Penguins. NASCAR at Le Mans now. That was just pure American freedom. Yeah, I've never been a big sports guy. Like I said, I did always like playing baseball. Care less about football. I like games like badminton. That's always been fun for me, and I like volleyball. But any of them, I cannot watch on TV. It puts me to sleep. It's boring. I'd rather be up doing something else. Especially these people that get in. No offense to anybody, but some of these people get so freaking mad if their team loses. Like it's the end of the world. Like it's like life-altering crap if their team loses and they get mad and break stuff and throw stuff. If you're into the hobby that the sports that much, you need to go to your backyard and dig a freaking ditch and do something productive. Ditto with books, yeah. If I can't fall asleep, I read 3 sentences. I'm out. Oh, excuse me. That came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere. I'm an itch. I was a karate nerd, and I didn't have time for ball sports. I took karate for a very short period of time, Tommy, and then I took jiu-jitsu for a short period of time, but never one of them things that stuck, but I did have fun with it. What about that hockey, eh? I can't watch Basketball on TV is fun to play and watch in real life, not fun on TV. Yeah, she used to play basketball pretty. She was in uh, basketball, field and track, and volleyball too. Yeah, I have zero attention span for anything on TV. Now, I will differ with you there. I do love my movies. If I find a good movie, I can watch. I like movies and a good TV show, like a TV series. I know what you're laughing about, Tara. It's March Madness college hoops. Okay, basketball. All right, thanks, Melvin. I'm like a I'm like I'm like a girl when it comes to that. Care less about sports. Oh, you boys and your hoops and your balls. June, you pocket modding? What do you mean? What did you do? What did June do? I haven't seen June. Did she do something? Is she here? Why'd you say that? Can you imagine if fish keepers got mad like sports? All our tanks would be destroyed. Oh yeah, like I'll tell you this. I had an uncle one time that loved the Steelers. He was big into football. They lost. He got so pissed. I can't say that. He got so mad he went outside and kicked the window in his car. Now, really? Because the guy didn't get the football to the other guy and in the end zone and gained all these points to make them win, you're going to get mad? Tara remembers that. Oh. Was she unhidden? You unhide her, Tommy? Thank you. She probably accidentally did that. Tara, Melvin's a hockey fan, especially the Pittsburgh Penguins. You should probably be able to unhide it as a mod, Tommy. I watch playoffs in hockey, finals and BB and World Series regular season. Unless you're a super mod stuff, I don't know. I mean, she's not hidden on my end. Tara, Uncle Jeff. You don't remember that? Let's go kick a window out in our car because our team lost. Great. Now you just cost yourself a couple $100 to fix your window. Thank you, Tommy. Yeah, June might have accidentally did that or something. Well, I got you, June, and Laura. I don't know anyone else that's a mod right now. If they get that mad at sports ball when they probably had money on it. Now, if you're betting money, if like you have a chance to win money, I can understand getting mad a little bit then. But he didn't bet. He didn't have money. He just was mad because he was a crazy, ridiculous fan. Yeah, I can definitely understand getting mad if your team loses over money. But then again, you're the one that placed the bet. You didn't have to. The Vegas Knights, I don't even know who that is. Been a while. Thank you, Atkins. That's because Silver Creek, he fixed it. I didn't know we could unhide a comment. Still learning. Yeah, if you hover your cursor or you got options next to any comments. You got 3 dots where you can delete, put a user in timeout, or ban and undelete comments, and then you can star a message. If I made you full mods, I think Tommy's a full mod. Is that right, Laura? I'll have to check on my YouTube side when I'm done. Mods are powerful. So, yep, definitely never been huge into sports to the point sometimes I try to sit down and watch it when, the Super Bowl is coming around and things like that. And it doesn't even matter what team. I'll just watch it a little bit, see how I just can't get into it. I've never been able to get into it. I can't sit there and especially baseball. Why are the commentators on baseball always that same guy? Oh, and that went out to the left field, and he's about to get it, and he threw it home to the third base, but they didn't get him just in time. When there's nothing going on, they have a easy going talk, and I'd rather watch two flies. Ultimate tower power. Tiny, tiny living space. Wish YouTube would let you swear. I'm on the phone, but people are pretty easygoing and not too many chances for yeah. Yeah, all of us are hey, all of our live streams it's usually the same people anyways. So I haven't had anybody cause any issues. Maybe when you get bigger, like you're a bigger channel, say 30,000 and up, and you get lots of people in your live streams, I could see that being an issue. But at our level, I like racing and car auctions. I used to race Atkins when I was in high school illegally. There's a lot of car guys out there. I don't. For a short while, I was big into four wheelers. I had a few different four wheelers, and I never raced them, but we used to do the hair scrambler tracks that we made in our own woods and just jump and have fun with them. I did enjoy my four wheelers. I do get mad if my team loses, but I just root for the other team that I like to beat the team who beat my favorite team. I got you. Well, you're displacing your anger. You're not like acting silly about it. Hey, Danikin, good morning. Good to see you in here. Appreciate you stopping by. Tommy raced dirt bikes. That's fun to me. I like ATVs and had some for years. Did some stupid stuff. What up, fish people? Cross country racing. Even went to pro at 14. Oh, nice, Tommy. So you was good, man. Track only for me. My family did the ambulance service for the Indy 500 for decades. Now I live by the Knoxville. Oh, that's neat, Sketty. That's neat to share. That's pretty cool. Oh, I could probably put my mic back on. Sound better. So does that sound better than it was? Till I cut my hand off. Yeah, that's always a problem. Me also, always got tickets for exhibition of acceleration during burnouts. Me also always got tickets for exhibition for acceleration. Okay. I didn't know if the mic made it sound any better or not. I would have imagined it would at least cut down on some of the background noise. Or if you want to blast from the past and watch the best hockey movie ever, Slapshot. I've seen that. That's pretty good. All right, Atkins. Cool, buddy. Thank you. All right, Tommy. I did mine yesterday. Thank you for hanging out. So what's everybody getting into this Saturday? Danikin, maybe Danikin's going to go out in the boat. Or maybe it's still a little bit too cold out there on the boat. Oh, Tommy, dang, I'm so sorry you missed out on more than high school. Hate weed eating. I don't know what that is. You see, that's funny. I like weed eating more than anything else. I enjoy weed eating more than riding a lawnmower or push mowing. I always like when you first start having to weed eat your yard for the first time of the year and your forearms aren't conditioned anymore and they're always sore the next day. Today's a fishy day, then sleep, then work. Okay. So he's doing his water changes and maintenance. I'm a big wrestling fan, personally. WTNA. I hate when people say that it's fake, but they risk their lives for the fans of meaningful injury. Yeah, I used to be big into pro wrestling for a long time. I don't watch it much anymore, Melvin. I don't like the new stuff. The last go around for me was when Goldberg was still in. And I can remember my one uncle took us to the Three Rivers, the Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh before they tore that down. And we watched, I think it was Hulk Hogan fought Earthquake, and he picked him up. We were right there for that. I could see me having trouble getting motivated today. Long list of crap. Yeah, I got you on that, Laura. You know, the best way to do that is to start your first job and then go till you get to the last one. The sooner you start it, the sooner it gets done. And as you go, you'll get motivation. It's just starting. It's the hard part. We just call it prairie, no weed eating necessary. Oh, no weeds to weed eat. This was cool, though. Made my adrenaline junkie side settle down. I was bad, real bad. Later, y'all. All right, Tommy. Thanks, buddy. I'm not good at it. I always end up with dirt patches. I think we all do that. Do a little scalping from now and then. Grass is taunting me now. Hey, Patty. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Good to see you. Again, I will put the link right here. Anybody's more welcome to come up and talk and share their tanks. I was a huge fan. Then I won ringside tickets to a Monday Night Raw in Hawaii, and it ruined it for me. Why did it ruin it for you? Picking up groceries, so I had a chance to pop up and say hi. Okay, Patty. Appreciate you. I'm wondering if it ruined it for you because it didn't, I'm curious to why you say that, Danikin. Yeah, I always enjoyed wrestling. I find myself even watching now YouTube videos of wrestling. I just don't like the new people. I think, in my personal opinion, I think the best wrestlers that built the company are gone now, and they're so old they can't wrestle anymore. So I don't watch it. I do like Brock Lesnar. I don't see what the big hype is on Roman Reigns. Goldberg was my last favorite wrestler, and these guys are just getting so old and so injured now they can't do it anymore. I was one of those guys that thought it was real and seen them missing punches by 8 inches. Yeah. Now, you're absolutely right on that, but I mean, it's like Melvin was saying earlier, the stunts they do and some of the stuff they do to entertain people is real, and the injuries from that Kimber, some of the stuff they do through is rough. Like that one, I watched that thing where Nick Foley and Undertaker were talking. They had an interview when they had that Hell in the Cell match or whatever. Nick Foley's tooth broke when he went off the cage and it was jammed in his nose. Crap like that is 100% real, and it's all for the name of entertainment and putting their bodies through total hell. So kudos to them. They definitely deserve what they get paid. But as for the punches and the wrestling, we all know that's scripted. And if they was really punching each other, these big guys, they wouldn't keep going after one or two punches. Yeah. Oh. Like, I don't care who you are. Anyone that gets kicked in the face by one leg, let alone two, you're not getting back up or magically just going, "Ugh." It's not happening. You're going to lay there for a while. I remember when Owen Hart died in a freak accident, landed on his neck wrong. Everyone thought it was a stage. Yeah, Melvin. I've watched videos on that recently. When you set up outdoor tubs, what do you put in the bottom? Anyone? If you're asking Sketty, anything you want. Rocks, sand. I like sand. I think it's a superior substrate all around. Now, Patty has set up tubs. You can ask him what he did. He sets them up every year. I almost went to a wrestling school in Canada with the Hart family, but was 19 and wanted to party instead. Oh, man, Patty, you could have been a millionaire, bro. I was into it when Stone Cold went famous and The Rock. The Rock lines were the best. Yeah. Yeah, I did like The Rock, and I did like Stone Cold. Attitude Era. Haven't followed wrestling since Andre Macho Man. All great wrestlers, Allison. Macho Man makes me laugh. I'll watch some. You want to watch a funny video? Look up Macho Man cup of coffee video. This is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah. And he freaks out at the end. He was a nut. Yeah, it is dangerous. Snap it to a Slim Jim. Yeah. Macho Man was one of the greatest showmen ever in that. He really knew how to get people jacked up and draw people in. He was good. Morning, Jeff. Good to see you, buddy. I seen Hogan and Andre and the Giant in the steel cage. Yeah. I was at the Three River Stadium. I don't know how old I was. I was young, and I got to watch a match. And the old stuff's the best. This new stuff now, past Stone Cold, past Goldberg, past The Rock, this new Roman Reigns and all that crap. And I don't even know some of these names anymore. And I just don't think it's near as – it'll never be what it was, in my opinion. $17 layers of detritus and leaves. I have a 300-gallon this year, usually 30. Oh, wow, Sketty, that's a big upgrade. Sand. You can do a mix of sand and rocks. And like Kim was saying, you can do leaves, sticks, leaf litter, like anything. But if it was me, I'd just be putting sand down there, maybe some rocks, like a sand rock mix. I got just because I have it. My favorites were Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and Legion of Doom. Yep. Absolutely. All good stuff. Legion of Doom. The backyard wrestling was dangerous because they used barbed wires. I actually did backyard wrestling. We were into it, man. We were always lived in a place one time when we got one of those. You remember when you were in school, those big, huge, thick blue mats they'd pull out in the gymnasium for, flips, twirls, whatever you're doing. Big, huge mats. Well, a buddy of mine got a hold of one of those, and he put it at his house, and we were jumping off of his roof onto that thing. We're doing stone cold stunners off the top of a roof, and we had a lot of fun on that. Doing wrestling matches in gym at school. I mean, you're always getting hurt. Hacksaw Jim Duggan with his 2x4. You got it. Sting retired. Yeah. They're just getting too old. They can't do it anymore. Their bodies are brittle. I'm kidding, Sarah. I wouldn't be bad, though. Just a bit mucky. Yeah. It's raining for you. It's not raining here. All good, Resin. Good to see you. You can be late. It's fine. No big deal. I thought about doing an outside setup with all the tree to be and squirrels, cats, and raccoons. Probably a big waste of pain in the rear. It would be a pain because you're constantly going to be pulling crap out of it, Laura. But you can put like a net over top to keep critters out. That's one trick you can do. I see some people doing that, but I always hate having to do that. You set up a nice outdoor tub or a pond. Last thing you want to do is put an ugly net over it to keep shit out, right? But I guess that's better than a cat or a raccoon coming in and snagging your fish and eat it. But here it'd be impossible for me because we have so many pine needles, pine cones, you name it. The little helicopters that come off. The pine trees are the messiest tree in the world. If I had the money, I'd get rid of every one of these damn pine trees. But constantly cleaning pine needles out. The Undertaker was cool and a bit scary. Undertaker was one of my favorites. The Rock is back as a final boss. With his cousin Roman Reigns. Okay. Plants growing out of it. Yeah, I want to get some big monsteras. And big monsteras growing out. But for me, if I was going to set up a pond, it would be one of them 300-gallon stock tanks from Tractor Supply, and it would be indoor. I would not keep it outdoor just because I don't want to have to constantly be netting crap out of it. Or, it would be cool because we do get toads around here and really big frogs sometimes. And they would get right in there, and I think that'd be cool. That's one cool thing. But if you're not agitating the water surface a little bit, you're also potentially giving mosquitoes a place to grow. But I don't think they'd live too long if you had fish in there. They'd go up there and eat them. I have a small pond outside, but there's no fish in it. But I'm constantly have to clean it up. It's always algae filled. Doing good, Tara. A lot of planning going on. A lot of things in the works. The funeral will be in Pennsylvania, where their plot is. I can't remember the name of that cemetery. I'll let you know. I don't think they're going to be too far from you. I cannot go. I won't be attending because, one, I have to work. Two, we have too many pets that need tended to, and we have no one else that can do it. So if they're going up, I'm staying behind. You have 3rd-acre muck pond already. I would have to buy stock and mosquito bits. Yeah. And I hate a mosquito. I put my tubs on the other side of the house last year, and the raccoons got it. Did you lose fish, Sketty? It is, and it is for everybody. I want it to go. I just when you have dogs, birds, the fish I'm not worried about. My fish could easily go a week or two without needing anything. They'd be fine. But we got 2 birds. We've got 3 big dogs and a cat, and there'll be no one here that you can, 1, trust. 2, they're going to be up there. They're not going to be here. I'm literally. And then we got that one dog, Mickey. You know Mick. We can't trust him around anybody. There's just too many variables by finding someone to come here and take care of these animals. It just can't work. Yeah. Yeah, they love it. Call guppies. Mosquitoes are the Alaska state birds. That's funny. The bats are the rest. The bats get the rest. Well, I wish we had more bats because the mosquitoes here are terrible. I built my own 12 by 12 screened in enclosure because of these freaking mosquitoes. Too coolie for schoolie. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming in. Oh, that's an easy way to put that, Sketty. I'll have to remember that. 2K4S. 2K4S. He's got one of them names that when you're trying to comment or talk to, it's too hard to do. So 2K4S. I'll have to remember that. That's partly why I can't travel. Yeah, there's just nobody you can. If you're going to have someone take care of your pets, especially some when you're getting into more exotic pets like birds and stuff, you can trust a dog sitter, right? Or maybe you can afford to take one or two dogs to a place that does that for you, which is expensive. But if one of these birds get out of the bedroom and the dog gets it and kills it, this has already happened to us once, and we will not let it happen again. The dog got in. We didn't know the dog was in. We thought she was outside, but one little slip up, the bird got killed, and we'll never let that happen again. We're still tore up about it. So if someone went into that bedroom and left the door cracked a little bit and that bird got out, that lab's going to kill it right now. So it's just very hard to trust anybody. You know, the quality of people's work now has declined drastically. The mentality has declined drastically. Everybody wants high dollars for less work. I'm not going to pay someone to come here that I don't even know and put my animals' lives in their hands. You know, I see it all the time. Dogs loose, dogs loose, dogs loose. Whose dogs loose around the community? We don't have that problem. Our dogs never get loose because we pay attention. We know what we're doing. We don't make those mistakes. My dogs are never running around my housing plan because we keep them locked up. We're responsible. I'm not saying accidents can happen because they accidentally can. We're human. Everybody makes mistakes. I certainly am not perfect. But my dogs have yet to escape and run around. Remember the wild Samoans? And seek of the father of Roman right there. Part of the Roman dynasty. Man, I don't know if I remember that, Melvin. I think I might, but I'm not sure. Everybody's saying hello, lots of chat. All right, Danikin, thanks, buddy. Talk to you later. I have done cat sitting. June, it doesn't count if the cat never leaves. Not my cats. Our pets are family, yeah. Yeah, it's not so much the fish I'm worried about. They'll be fine, but the cat, the three big dogs, we have two different birds. Birds require a lot of attention to stay healthy. They need attention. They require affection, love, or they don't do well, or they get depressed and they'll start plucking all their feathers out. You have to spend so much time with them during the day. You have to make sure if they run out of water, it doesn't take long where they start acting weird. So you've just got to be up with these guys. All right, Jesse, my stomach's growling. Time for some lunch. Yeah, same for me, Tara. I'm getting hungry myself. I'll be on for another 15 minutes, and then I'll jump off and grab something to eat. But thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Be safe, and I love you. So today, I don't know if there's too much going on for us, but we're going to be finalizing things. They're getting ready to. They're going to be heading out tomorrow morning to head north for the funeral burial, and I'll be here working and taking care of the animals for the week. My cats are like that. Lots of attention. Cat dog. Yeah, I mean, and it's a real thing. Like, have you ever deprived an animal of attention that truly wants it? They get depressed and sick. The Rock is a part of the family. Google it, Salient. Okay, I'll check that out. Every time I watch my son's dogs every time I watch my son's dogs, someone else's dogs are running around, and I get worried about a fight because I can't get them into the house fast enough. Keep your animals exactly, and that is another factor. Someone's going to get hurt. Now you got a vet bill. These vet bills are outrageous. I mean, your dog gets tore up, and now you have to take him in and get stitches. You're talking a minimum of probably $1,000 for crap like that now, depending on the severity. Appreciate you, Sketty. Appreciate you. Ragdolls are cat dogs. June's always got some good one-liners. So yeah, you got to take responsibility. You got to pay attention. It doesn't take much time to make sure. Like once a weekend, I'll walk around my fenced-in backyard and I look for weak points, because most of the time when these people build these fenced-in backyards, they're using nails. Well, over time, nails can loosen up and rust and go to crap. So now, and I've caught it. I've had a couple of my fence sections loose, not even connected anymore. So I grabbed some screws and I fixed it. You got to take your time at least once a week, once a month, whatever you want to do, and check these things. Taking time to do that eliminates dogs getting out or something getting in. And a lot of people don't want to take the time to do that, and they wonder how their dog got out. Or they're wondering how that other dog got in and bit your dog. A lot of things come down to laziness. Ragdolls are a breed of a cat. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought you were using cats as ragdolls. Oh my God. Today I'm fixing 2 doors that someone pulled off the frames. I don't even want to ask, June, how does that even happen? Like, who pulled the doors off the frames? I'm going to get a coffee. You guys stay here and have that report on my desk when I get back, June. Sorry about that. No one knows. Chris do it? Or takes the blame? I have the top 10 inches of fence on an angle, so it's harder for creatures. Oh, I know. So outward is kind of like I know what you're talking about. That's a good idea. Atkins, I think you're right. Chris, do it. Did the door itself come off the frame? Or are you talking about the entire door and frame? It makes more sense that it's just the door. Why the pantry? It never hurt anybody. I slammed the door 3. If you don't find it magically refilled, you might slam it. Hold the hinge off. Good God. It's crazy stuff going down in the Only Oscars family. Strip the holes out. Yeah. What are you going to do to fix it? Are you going to just fill the holes up and then try to just repair the holes, or are you just going to the best thing you can do is probably just move the hinges and make new holes? I've tried repairing holes like that before. It never turns out good. You're going to have to probably move the hinges. I've done that. It never, in my experience, that has never been a permanent long-term fix. You would probably be better off putting some kind of like a wall anchor in there, like you know how you can drill a hole in drywall, put them plastic anchors in, so when you tighten the screw up, that it squats the anchor and gets tight in the hole. You'd be better off doing something like that than just relying on wood glue. They make some metal anchors that really grab. That would probably be fix it a lot better. Dowel rod and glue moving hinges seems like a bit of work to recess them. I've done that. It's easy, Laura. If you got those chisels, I do it old school though. I take those wood chisels. They come in a set with different size. A few taps, you got it cut out. It resets. It seats in the door and the wood frame nice. I don't know. My husband has antenna up really loud and is talking to me at home. Yeah, turn the music up and let's have a conversation. This is what you hear, Sketty. Ah! Ah! I know what you're talking about, laser. Popsicle trick. Basically, just adding like a shim in there to make it tighter. Toothpicks can work. It's Getty, but I'm listening. I just did that with a wall anchor and hung up a decorative seaside paddle in my window and boom, a fish tank. I think a lot of times we can't drill into studs, or you got to have an anchor, but they work pretty good. I like those little plastic anchors. Now, if I have something that I want to hang on the wall and I absolutely can't screw into a stud, you want to look up spring toggle bolts. Spring toggle bolts. Best thing ever. What's Jeff Kane getting into today? What do you do for fun, Jeff? What do you do on the weekends when you're not messing with the fish? What are you doing? If you don't mind sharing, maybe you don't want to share. Maybe you don't share your business. You don't have to. I'm just asking. Don't get mad at me. You spelled anchor wrong. I just noticed, price tag. You spelled anchor wrong. Waiting for service calls. Did you just work all the time, buddy? Is that all you do? Like Monday through Sunday? Work. Is that what you like to do? It's my weekend on call. Every time I talk to you, it sounds like you're on call, though. Obviously, that's just coincidence, but you work a lot, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Make that money. Why not? The company I work for, I get on call. It gets alternated between all the techs, but every once in a while we have to go on call. So I get you. But he is taking me to Quad City Swap next week for anniversary. Cool, Sketty. I went downstairs and saw a pot of water on the floor. An airline came loose, and the water was coming. Oh my God, June! Good. Well, it's a good thing you caught that. But see, you caught it and you fixed the problem. Pretty much all I can afford to do is you got it, Jeff. Absolutely. I mean, you're either working two jobs, or you're working a heck of a lot of hours at one. And service calls, especially after hours, pay better. I'm assuming it's the same for you. Premium time. Minimum. What do you get? A minimum of 3 hours to go on any call at premium time? After hours? Yeah, those. Yeah, June, get some check valves. No. Well, yes, it counts as a water leak, but a good water leak. Just get some check valves, June. I do have to make time to do taxes this weekend. I already got that done. No minimum? Okay. Yes, sir. Well, it is pretty much 2 hours into this stream. I certainly appreciate everybody coming by and hanging out with me and chatting with me. But it is close to triple time. Nice, Jeff. And you make some good money there, so I get you. You have to. Everything's expensive. A gallon of milk's $7 now. Depending on where you live, it's even worse. I mean, we live in a crazy world. I don't see it getting any better, so I got you 100%, man. Oh, okay, June, cool. Well, I'm going to jump off, guys. It is 2 hours in. I appreciate you coming by and hanging with me, as always. And everything, I will be available for Tankin Tuesday this Tuesday, coming up 6 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you guys there. Get back on schedule with that. Now, if anyone wants to wish her a happy birthday. Now, what'd you say, June? Sketty? Whose birthday? Whose birthday is it? Is it your birthday, Sketty? Oh, okay, yeah. I don't. She never comes on my streams, and even when she's on Vibes, is streams, I'll try and talk to her, and she never replies to me. So I just don't know if she's not seeing it or what. But I like her. She's a nice girl. So happy birthday to Mariah if she happens to see this. But she's a hard one to talk to. Yeah. I have my birthday month. All right, I'm out. Thanks everybody for stopping by. You guys are the best. And we'll see you Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. And at 11 o'clock, right now, my video dropped on my recent video about the next night crew light they sent me as a review. Check that light out because I like it a lot. If they put an app control on their lights, Blue Walks guys would be out the door for me. Yeah. On lockdown. Vibes got her locked down. Oh yeah, I know she's nice. I know we've chatted before. I like her a lot. It's just like I have a hard time getting her to reply to me. You too, Sketty. Thank you, June. Thanks, Laura, for all your modding and all your help. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, I'm out. You guys are the best. Talk later.